I've been trying to make this video all day. I chose Sunday because I always choose Sunday if I can, because it's quieter, there's less traffic noise. Because I notice that the speaker picks up, or the mic picks up the noise from the roads much louder than your ears do, it seems. Don't seem to be able to phase it out. So this morning it was lovely and still, and now it's got windy, so I'm hoping it won't interfere too much with the sound. But anyway, here we are down at the bottom of the new garden, and the row of hedging is coming on nicely. Nice woodland trust hedge. I've been clearing the grass away. As you can see, it sort of grows up through, you can see there, it grows up through the rabbit wraps over the winter, and I've been all along. I've just got a little bit more to do now. It's coming on and growing quite nicely, I'm glad to say. And I've left the grass on the north side to give it protection from the blasts of the wind. So the rest of it's all doing quite well. Lots of willow here. It's very wet down here, so the willow is certainly working nicely, and alders. You can see them all coming along now. This one here's just about to break buds. Nice alder. And there's quite a few other things in there, as you can see. Birch. The hedge is doing very well. I put in some dog rose, Rosa canina, that I got from other hedges around the garden, and it's doing quite well now. We've got some chestnuts, which we grew from conkers, and they're getting a bit battered with the wind. Can do with a bit more hedge coming up. Everything takes time, and the orchard is looking quite nice. I try not to use plastic ties. There's a few around, but I try to use, I use wool. I spin string from wool and tie them up with it. But the crows noticed it, so I brought out some more wool and hung it on the wires there for their nests, because they were pulling the wool off the trees where I'd used it to tie them. Anyway, I think they've stopped building now. They're all in occupation. So yeah, it's all coming on. Nice apple tree there. Got a few buds on it. Hopefully they won't get clobbered with a late frost. Now here's quite an interesting thing. It's an experiment. This was where we grew onions last year, and instead of putting black plastic or anything over it, we covered it with grass cuttings from the mower, and it has kept down the weeds really well. So I think we might try that on some of the other beds, because that plastic stuff is awful. I don't like using it, but it's so hard to keep it weed free, and then it's so much work trying to clear it again if you don't cover it. But that, I think, might work for all of them. This one here, these plants are perennial broccoli, 9-star perennial broccoli, and I haven't planted them before, but apparently if you keep, they look very nice actually, and if you keep taking off all the flowers, they will come again next year. So I shall have to get around and eat a few more of them. There's a lot of them actually, quite tasty. And then there's that Benton's kale, it's sort of perennial cabbage, and at the end the Brussels sprouts that are starting to bolt now. So I might leave them, see if I can get some seeds, and some more pots of hazel and holly and other things that we're looking forward to planting. So not too bad. There's a couple of little fuchsias I put in. Some plants I have in the other garden. Here I will show you now the disaster that we had when that storm came a few months ago. And we can just get through here. It took down one of our big ash trees. Look at that. And it's taken a couple of months chopping and hacking, trying to clear it up. It came right down across the pea garden. We broke all the wire, so we've had to rebuild all that. And finally got the peas and beans planted, and then the peas rotted off, so I had to plant them again. But the broad beans are coming, thankfully. Yeah, it was just so cold and wet. The peas just did not like it. So now we have a new entrance into our garden, which is into the old garden, which is up here. We will eventually clear all this wood away. There, we can go up the steps into the old garden. So, things have been going on. I lost my hens. They went to the fox, except one, who was so traumatised I had to go and give her to my daughter so she could live with their 3 hens. And she's so happy now, so she recovered and started laying eggs. So that was good. But it leaves me henless, which is a bit sad. But there we go. That's the way it is. I've got lots and lots of raspberries all over the place. And then in between all those little cress weeds are garlics. And they seem to be doing alright. I think I'm going to leave those weeds because they're supping up the water, which there's been an awful lot of. We have a very nice lilac bush, which is just about to flower by the looks of it. And this is the other job we were doing. We decided to move, or to get rid of and move, some of the black currants as they got a little bit out of hand. They'd taken over the whole place. So we put up all this new wire, and I'm just making panels for the gates. And we're going to plant some spods in there and in there. As I say, I think we could use the grass cuttings instead of that plastic, because you can see what happens. See, the mice come in and they chomp it and they just make a mess and plastic everywhere then. It's horrible. So yeah, I have to come up with something else. Can't keep using plastic. It's horrible. So this gate needs a new panel. And this one I've just done. There we go. This is all because of rabbits, of course. But now we don't have to worry so much about Foxy. Foxy comes to visit us and takes rabbits away, which is okay. It's all okay. Here's a nice apple tree. Hopefully it'll be budding up soon. Well, it has buds, but it hasn't opened yet. It's a later one. There's my pretty little flowers. Flowering currants. Bees like them. They're nice and early. So, that's where we've got to. Those are the only really new things we have done. And really, actually, now that the tree isn't there, we have a lovely view across the valley again, like we had when we first lived here. So, there you go. All's well that ends well, and it's it's an ill wind that brings no good. Yeah, so there's a bit of good coming, a bit more light there for the peas and things. That's it.